Now joining us here on the Rally exclusively on Twitter, Tim Kennedy, middleweight fighter, taking on Kelvin Gastelum this Saturday, UFC 206 in Toronto. Tim, thanks for taking the time to join us here. You haven't had a fight in the octagon in over 2 years, so I know you've been training, but what else have you been up to?
I've been busy, man. I've enjoyed not fighting. I didn't know if I was going to come back to the sport, honestly. I came back for UFC 205 to be part of Madison Square Garden to fight Rashad, and be on the biggest card in really the sport's history. That didn't work out. But in the past 2 years, I've filmed a couple of TV shows. I've been hunting Nazis in South America. I went to the Middle East, been hanging out in Africa. I'm a busy bee. I started a new company. I started a new nonprofit. Like if you're going to try to imagine something that somebody could do in 2 years, I did it and a little bit more.
You mentioned your TV show, Hunting Hitler. Tell us how you got involved in that and how that started.
It's kind of a weird, sad, sob story. So they were looking for somebody that had occupationally, professionally hunted humans in their life, and that's something that I have done. I'm a Special Forces sniper, a Green Beret, a Ranger qualified guy that has spent his entire 15-year special operations career in the occupation of looking for bad people. They needed somebody that could fly drones. They needed somebody that was familiar with the technology of ground penetrating radar. They needed somebody that could speak Spanish. They needed somebody that could comfortably spend time and live in South America. So I maybe that alone whittled it down to a very small population. And I was the guy with the worst hair, and they went with me.
Tim, what are some of the advantages of being outside of the octagon for over 2 years? Do you let your body heal? What do you take away from that time off from the octagon?
My body, man. Having 2 years, this is a brutal sport. It is an unforgiving sport, and it's not what happens just in the octagon. Like that in itself is a violent thing, but it's the training, it's the grind every single day. It's the wrestling, it's the grappling, it's the boxing, it's the kickboxing, it's the strength and conditioning, it's the nutrition. It's just every single day, 2-3 workouts a day, trying to get the recovery in. It is, it's tough. It's tough on the body. So having 2 years to really just focus on getting healthy, getting strong, getting fast, getting better, and not looking at an opponent, not worrying about a fight camp, just worrying about being the best version of myself has been a blessing.
All right, now obviously, Tim, clearly you did not miss the training part of mixed martial arts, but what did you miss from being outside the octagon for that long?
I don't miss the octagon. I miss my team. I miss being part, the camaraderie of being at Jackson's and, hanging out with the guys. That is something that is a story that's rarely touched on within the sport. You get to the mountain, and when you get there and you're at that peak, you have to summit it by yourself, but in no way, shape, or form did you get there alone. You have coaches and partners and training partners that are pushing you every single step of the way. And that is something that I love. That is one of the beautiful things about the sport. On this fight card here at 206, I have 4 other Jackson guys that are on this card. So, we're walking through the halls on the elevator together, and we were just together in fight camp like 2 weeks ago. So it's, that's a fun, beautiful part that I really missed and love.
Clearly, Tim, you speak very highly of your team. What have you guys been doing in camp to get you prepared for Gastelum on Saturday night?
You could not have wished for a better fight camp. I am 100% healthy. Weight is on. It's long. If there's a little anxiousness, there's an excitement to have it be over, to have that final chance to get into the octagon and really put on the performance that I want to and need to. Because I've put so much work into it, because this has been so long, because I've just 3.5 months of getting after it. And now Kelvin Gastelum has to reap, the final product of what all that hard work looks like.
All right, we saw that you tweeted that you bought 6 different types of bacon to get ready for this fight on Saturday night. How are you going to prepare that bacon or all those brands of bacon?
Oh no, man! I didn't even realize the extent of the damage that my shopping cart was going through when I was walking through the aisles. That's just like, you leave the next morning. I was flying to Toronto, so I was trying to buy stuff so I didn't come home to an empty house. So I'm grabbing bacon, I'm grabbing sausage, all the things that I haven't been able to eat in 3.5 months. Texas barbecue, brisket, a corned beef hash, like all the things I'm going to go after. But I'm going to make a buffalo meatloaf that is wrapped in bacon. It's going to be minced up serrano and jalapeno peppers. I'm going to be sticking it into a cast iron skillet and sticking it on the barbecue. First, I'm going to mostly kind of cook the bacon to about 50%, and then the ground buffalo with all the seasoning and spices and delicious herbs and peppers go into it, and then you wrap it in the bacon, and then it back into the cast iron and back onto the barbecue.
I got to tell you, Tim, that sounds pretty darn good. Tim Kennedy taking on Kelvin Gastelum Saturday night, UFC 206 in Toronto. Best of luck, and thanks for joining us here on The Rally on Twitter.
Appreciate it. Thank you.